What's up, everybody? This is Carl from Techful Goodies, and today we're doing a tech haul. So I have a couple things here to show you, and just a reminder, the reason I kind of do these tech hauls is because I have things that I get either from a manufacturer or I purchase myself, and I think to myself, hey, it might be nice for you all to see kind of what it is, what's in the box, what it's about. Not an in-depth review, just something to take a look at new tech or different tech and see if you might be interested. So, first thing I have is a charging station. So this is the KPON 3-in-1 wireless charging station. Now, I always like to try these out, and KPON had said, hey, would you like us to send this over? I said, absolutely, send it over. I'd like to try it because there are a lot of different charging stations out there, but they all have a little bit different specs, or might be different in the way that you use them. So why not check them out? And then eventually I might hit on one you like, or one that I'll just continue to use. So you can do your phone, your earbuds, or your watch. 15-watt max charge, 3-in-1. And it has, I guess, some LED color changing, super magnetic, 360 rotation, and intelligent identification, and multiple protection. And I'm assuming the intelligent identification, that typically comes when it, based on your phone, it'll decide what sort of wattage it'll send out and make it safe for you to charge your phone. So in the box, we have the charging base itself. And what I like about charging bases like this is that I do feel like, since they fold up and have the ability to kind of like hide the things that you use or may not use out of the way, it makes it a little bit easier for you to travel with if you want to take this with you on a trip. In this little box here, I'm assuming is accessories and user manual. So the one good thing is that they do give you a power brick here. So this is going to be probably a 15-watt max charging. And usually when they talk about that, I don't know, I can't see it because my eyes are the most terrible in the history of the world. But usually what they do is they will put X watts out for your phone, X for your watch, and for your earbuds, and that's usually based on what those different devices will accept as a wattage for charging. So it is a USB-C to USB-C charging cable, which is fairly nice, and that's why it's nice that they give you this block, because it is a USB-C charging block, and you don't have to worry about if this fits in your USB-A port or whatever. But charging on the back here and plug it in. So it looks like it does have RGB. I'm not sure why this peel is on the bottom. Oh, it's because it's, oh, that's nice. It has a sort of rubberized bottom, and it allows, if you didn't take that off, it would slide everywhere. But that way, when you're putting your phone on there or something, it doesn't just slide away from you on your nightstand if that's where you're going to use it. It does have the RGB here. You can see right now it's kind of a slow color change. I really like that, but let's see. Oh, it turned off. So I think it's timed, and I think that's good. If it turns off, that's good, because if it's on my nightstand, I don't want any lights in my room. So one good thing about this is I have, like my brother, he has an older iPhone, and it won't magnet correctly if it's in a sort of vertical stance. So if you want, you can put it down, toss your phone on there and charge it, so that charges just fine. Lift it up, put my phone on here, and my phone sticks just well, so that's already charging, and you see you do have enough angle to get that sort of standby mode where it shows the camera or pictures or a clock calendar, all that kind of stuff if you want, based on your preference, of course. And then if I want to charge my watch, I do like the fact that it is just a stick out from the side thing, so I can lay my watch here. Oh, yep, there it is. That's charging. You can kind of barely see it back there, but it definitely is charging. And I don't have any earbuds right off hand here that I can charge with, but if you do want to do your earbuds, I do like the fact that this pushes in, clicks in to stay. It doesn't just push in. I have another one that actually has a separate dongle that comes out, and that can get lost really easy. And then there is a button here on the side. Let's see if I can show you this in the reflection. You see this little button right here. Push that. Yep, that's your light button. So you can kind of cycle through the different types of RGB, just a standard night light, or a rotating RGB. So this is nice. You know what? I will probably let my brother see if he wants to use this, because like I said, he can't use any vertical ones. He has to lay it down like this. Well, this is nice. I like this. It's got a good sort of quality build. I really like the stickiness of this bottom so it doesn't slide around. I will definitely use this in my room or give it to my brother, like I said. But yeah, if you're interested in this, I will leave the link down below. Thanks again to KPON for sending this over. Funny enough, KPON was one of the very first people or companies to send me something to review. And it was a thick case charger, and that has worked since I got it a couple years ago. So I just appreciate them for supporting me, and check it out if you want. All right, next in the hall. All right, so this is a smart lock, okay? As a new homeowner here, any of the locks that I have on my house were just standard plain old deadbolts. And what I really liked at my last house was the fact that I had one of those combos that you could use to unlock the door. I never used any keys. I always had a backup key, but I never had to use it. I always used the code. Now this one here happens to be a fingerprint reading and code entering door lock. You can see it here. But I really like those sort of automated locks, and I wanted one that worked with Wi-Fi and fingerprint, okay? Now, let's go ahead and take a look at what's in this box. Now, I recorded this earlier, and you can see here what comes in the box, and the reason that I recorded this earlier is because I wanted to install these and use them a little bit before I did this tech haul. Okay, so I don't have them particularly right in front of me, but I do have some B-roll that I'll show you as I'm kind of talking about the features of the smart lock itself. Now, the installation of this was very easy. If you've ever replaced a deadbolt on a door, then you have no problem. It installs the exact same way. Just install it through the door, screw it in, add the batteries, and set it up. And I also really like their app. So their app here, I'll show you that on my phone. And you'll notice on my phone, I actually have two of these because I wanted to have another one for my back door. And I'll tell you why it's actually been fairly successful for this time that I've used it. So here is their app. You can see it here. I've got a front door and a back door. You can lock it from here or you can unlock it from there. And then each one you just click and go in to look at the lock, what's going on, the battery level, slide to unlock, and you can assign access. So I have different access codes for each person in my family, each one of my kids, and myself, as well as multiple fingerprints. You can set up multiple fingerprints to be able to get in the door, whether or not it's your right hand or your left hand, you can do that. Now, there's a lot of features that come with the app, and I'm gonna go over some of my favorite here because I just don't wanna get into so many details, but I have really liked this lock. And one of the reasons is I have a front door, and on my front door, I really like it so that it will auto lock. And I also like the fact that you can change it up to 120 seconds before it auto locks. So you come home, use your fingerprint, open the door, close it, walk away, and it will automatically lock for you. On the flip side of that, for my front door, they have a passage mode. And what passage mode means is the fact that it won't auto lock anymore. So I can turn on passage mode if I have someone to come and work on my house to do something, or some cleaners to come over, or family and friends are going in and out. That's one of the things I didn't like about my past lock at my old house, was the fact that it locked, I think, within about 15 seconds. It was always locking when the door was open, and people would slam the door closed with the deadbolt out, and then it would damage the deadbolt in the frame. This one, you can add a little bit longer of a delay on that, or you can turn on that passage mode. Also, because it is a Wi-Fi connected door lock, it is very nice that it is connected to my Wi-Fi here. And if I leave the house, I can just get on here and check, oh, did I forget to lock the back door or the front door? There's different security methods on it, like there's an anti-peeping lock code, so you can actually click different combinations based on if you think someone's watching and still get in the door. Also, another good thing is that it gives you notifications when the door is either locked automatically, if the door lock is jammed, if you don't close the door all the way and it can't seat correctly, it'll give you a notification. And I really like that because my old lock used to go over and over and over for hours and burn the battery out. This one's great because it doesn't do that. And the reason that I really like having one on my back door also is because I go in and out that back door all the time, taking out garbage, going out to the back porch to sit down. Because I work from home, I might sit outside, come back inside, go back outside, and I don't always want to be using my thumbprint or my code to get in that door. It's a standard passage, and that's why it's called passage mode, because it is a passage door that I go in and out. The other cool thing that I found out from using this was that it also works with Amazon Alexa and Google. You can set it up so you can say, hey, DESLOC, unlock the back door or unlock the front door. But what I use it for is the scheduling power of the Alexa app. You don't need a home hub or anything like that. You just need the app. And I have it set up so since this is passage mode, it doesn't automatically lock. I actually have every night at 9 p.m., it'll lock the door for me. Alexa will lock the door for me. And then every night at midnight, it'll also lock the door. It doesn't matter if it's locked already, it'll attempt to lock the door on the off chance that me or my kids go in and out of the door and we just forget to lock that back door. Front door is covered, it automatically locks every 120 seconds, but the back door, I leave it on passage mode all the time, but at night, it'll automatically lock to make sure everything's secure. So I've been extremely happy with this. There's a lot of features you should actually take a look at if you're interested in this. Like I said, I always leave the links down below, but you'll be able to actually take a look in detail and see what other things you might like. Thanks to DESLOC for sending this over. This was another one that a company sent over for me to try out and show to you guys, but in full disclosure, they did provide this for me, but all my thoughts and reviews are always completely honest. But other than that, absolutely been extremely happy. I told my family and friends about it already, and now I'm telling you. So click the link, check it out. It's awesome. And what is next? All right, so next up is the Wyze Scale Ultra. I purchased this myself because I happen to like the Wyze brand and I needed a scale, and I wanted a scale that was digital and had connect to your phone. I had one at my old house, but I didn't bring it with because I had a limited space and I wasn't a biggest fan of that one. I can't remember which kind it was, but I went ahead and picked up Wyze because I like their technology and I like their stuff. Like I said, I bought this one myself. No one sent it to me. But I haven't used it yet. So let's go ahead and open it up, get it set up, and give it a try. And from the pictures on the back here, you can kind of see that it has a large display screen. It works with the app. And you can see there how big the screen actually is, which helps people like me who have terrible eyesight. All right, so in the box. Shouldn't be that much, I'm assuming. Wait. Wait. And here is the scale itself. And it's a nice looking scale. I mean, if you're into how a scale might look, this should fit the bill because it's really nice looking. You can see all my lights around the room. On the back here, yep. Just open this up and install. Looks like it takes 4 AA. And because it's Wi-Fi connected and it's also, should be fairly minimal usage of these batteries. So I wouldn't expect you to have to replace these that often. But 2, 3, 4. All right, so I'm going to step on the scale here. Okay, 280.6. So let's pull up the app. And 280.6, it's logged to the app now. I can set a weight goal if I wanted to. My weight goal is, I don't know. Let's just do 275-ish. All right, and then you can look at your body fat, your muscle mass. I have such little body fat that it doesn't even recognize it, but it's also a trend and a history graph. Now, I don't have a lot of history, obviously, because I just set this up, but one of the things that I do like is the fact that you can track your weight goals and watch that graph move up or down based on what you're trying to do. It looks like you can also weigh your baby, your pet, so you have different sort of things you can put on there. It'll also track your heart rate and your, luggage. I love that part. You know, when you go to the airport and your luggage is over 50 and you got to take stuff out. I love the fact that it's got a luggage mode where you can just, basically that means you can weigh something and it won't track it in the app. and I've earned a badge. Excellent. So under my devices, under scale, now I have this scale. Now there's a lot of different things that, you know, you can do with these scales. Now, do you want to? Sure. Depends on who you are. Me, I just want to track my weight and track what's going on. Obviously, my weight fluctuates based on what medications I'm on for what I'm going through right now. So I kind of just want to manage that and make sure that I'm eating enough or not eating too much or not eating too little. I don't know. But either way, if you take a look at this, it's pretty nice. I got no problem with this right now. The only thing I can see is that you're going to get a bunch of feet prints on there or fingerprints on there, but it's okay. Not too bad to see those. But as far as a smart scale goes, it has everything that I would want. But definitely click on the link, check it out. Might be an affiliate link. I can't remember where I purchased this from, but I mark them. Everything is an affiliate link in the description below. And if you've watched my tech hauls before, you know I do a lot of keyboards on this channel. And the reason that I do that, and I've told you this for years, is that I really found mechanical keyboards to be a game changer because I have neuropathy in my hands. And there was a period of time where I was just doing voice to text for all my work emails and all that kind of stuff. And it was horrible, like going from someone who programmed, did a lot of typing. So when it comes to mechanical keyboards, I'll always say, yes, send that through. I want to try it out, because I also get emails from people who say, hey, I have that same issue. Do you still like that keychron that you used to use? Do you still like this or that? Even this simple Nimbleback from LTC, I like that one too. So Royal Kludge, I never know how to say that, Royal Kludge or Royal Kludge. I'll just say Royal Kludge. This is their RK F99 mechanical keyboard. Now this is a 99% keyboard, so it has the keyboard and it also has the number keys. And it's not a standard number key layout because the arrows are kind of, you can see here, the arrows are kind of down below and kind of crushed in there, but I kind of like that. I always really like the number keys, so I really like this sort of form factor. So thanks to them for sending this over for me to try it out. They are a big supporter of my channel and I always appreciate that. But let's check out what's in the box. Now I'm assuming it should be pretty standard, right? So you got the keyboard itself and then the accessories and extra switches. Now they give you a charging cable, which you can also use as a plugged-in wired keyboard. But this is a tri-mode keyboard, which I am a big fan of too. I guess I'm a big fan of a lot of stuff, but I'll tell you when I am really truly a big fan of is the fact that it has the 2.4 gigahertz dongle and it has multiple Bluetooth options. So if I have a computer here and if I have a computer back over here and I have a computer that I'm using outside, I can take that keyboard and just hit a function key and another button and it'll swap between those computers. Ooh, that's nice. One thing I like about this, now this is feels to be a fully plastic shroud, which some people like and don't like. It depends on what you want with your keyboard. I do like this. This is not 1,000 pounds. I have some other keyboards that are so heavy, and if I want to move around with a Bluetooth keyboard that'll switch to other devices, I don't want it to be so heavy that I feel like I'm trying to, you know, carry a gallon of milk somewhere. So these are their beige switches. And I think it's their night black, yeah. So what I wanted was, yes, the tactile switches. So in this particular one, so there's different types of switches. There are clicky, which are the blue, usually blue switches, or if they have their proprietary switch names, which clicks, sounds like old school keyboard. This is a tactile one, which has a little bit of a click. Let me hold it up here for you. And then they also have something like a red or a gaming where there's no tactile feedback. And what this has is a little bit of tactile feedback. So when you are typing, you can kind of tell when you've hit the bottom. They also give you a key puller and a couple extra switches in case you spill water on there and you need to replace them. They come off very easily. For example, let me go ahead and take this key puller and show you. So you can pull off the keycap. Pull off the K key here, and they come off like that, and you can see on the bottom here, let me get the right angle, yep, you can see the little plus sign, so that sort of plugs into exactly where this switch is. And then these switches also come out. See how there's a switch in there? We'll get the right angle for you. So that little switch will come out, and you're basically able to replace them if they get damaged or something's wrong with them. And when you're done, you just take the K or the key, toss it right back on there, and you're good to go. Now, if you decide to, you can replace all of the switches in here if you want to. If you decide, oh, I want more of a fast actuating, or I want something that's clicky, you can do that. Do whatever you want. Let's say you wanted your number keys to be clicky, put clicky switches in there. Let's say you didn't like how much noise that makes, which isn't that much. You can go ahead and replace them. So I really think that, the good thing about the Royal Kludge is the fact that their keyboards are so affordable. Like I said, I've used like a Keychron, or I've used other ones before, and they're kind of high in that price range, but it doesn't mean their quality is better. The one I had before just completely died and I couldn't use it anymore. I don't know if there was something wrong with the battery, but that's why I tend to get, more affordable keyboards that still do the exact same thing. And then with this, with the profile that you have here, and the way that these keys are indented just a little bit, it really helps me index my hands on the keyboards and use them. So here, I'll hold this up and give you a little bit of a... So you can see how those sound and how nice that seems when you're typing, and it feels really good, and it feels really good in the hand. So when I said, as I do like the fact that it has the standard home insert, page up, page down, it has the number pad, but the keys are right here, sort of tucked in a little bit, so it's not as wide as a 100% keyboard. And then if you look here on these keys and you hit the function key, you got 1, 2, and 3. That'll switch between, so function 1, this device, function 2, that device, and you get the idea. So across the board, I just love this brand. I have no problem with their keyboards. If you're looking for a mechanical keyboard and you want something to try out, it's good because these are very affordable. Definitely check them out. Thanks to them for sending it over. But we have one more thing to take a look at. So the last product I wanted to talk to you about in the tech haul is something that I've opened up day one because I got it immediately when I got here. So typically at my last house, I had a Ring camera, and I just didn't want to have a Ring doorbell because there's not a power out to my doorbell, and I didn't want to deal with charging it all the time. So I wanted to try something new. Share it with you all, let you know how it worked out. So I got one of those cameras that stick on the window and point outward. Now, I've had cameras before that I've tried to do this with by just setting it inside the window, but their IR sensors screw up and all that kind of stuff. This one is specifically for plastering up against a window so that you can get notifications of people walking by, just like a standard video camera. So this is the Girafit 3 megapixel 2K window camera. It supports 2.4G and 5G Wi-Fi indoor, and it also supports AI color, night vision, motion detection, and it goes through Wi-Fi. Now, what I wanted to do was try this out and see how it would work without any sort of cloud subscription. So they support a cloud subscription, but I didn't want to have to use that or pay for a cloud subscription. I have the camera, I just wanted it to work. So I went ahead and put a micro SD card in there, or a TF card, and let it kind of decide how it wanted to work. So the cool thing about this camera is that it works really, really well. The visuals are nice. I'm going to go ahead and show you while I'm talking about some of the features here. I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the footage from the front. And like I said, it does have a 3 megapixel Ultra HD clarity. So they say it's the 2K. It's usually like a 1440p resolution, which is, I think, perfectly fine. There are intelligent alerts, so you can actually tell whether or not it's just standard motion or if it is a person. So I have it pointing out at the road, and the problem with that is that it always picks up cars, it picks up trees moving, it picks up, anything. So what I have it set up to do is it'll record all the movements and stuff like that, but it'll only notify me if it AI intelligently detects a person. So if an Amazon driver is dropping something off, or if someone's coming up to the front door, I'll get a notification. On the flip side of this, one of the things I've noticed is an issue with this is that the notifications aren't fast, right? If you want, sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. I don't know if it's my network, my Wi-Fi, or what, but sometimes I'll get a notification right away. My son will walk outside, walk by it, and I'll get a notification. But sometimes I'll hear an Amazon driver drop something off outside and he'll leave, and then I'll be like, I wonder what that was. And then blink, I got a notification a couple minutes later, which is fine. I just wish it was more real time. I know it's not like on my Ring notification. If I want to talk to someone, I could, but I can't with this because it's inside the house. Now, that's neither here nor there. It depends on what you're going to use it for. Like I said, it's working perfectly fine for me. And the reason I'm showing this to you is because I want you to know how it worked, but I'm also thinking about picking up a couple different versions of this. Wyze makes one that sticks onto your window. Girafit makes one, which is this one. And I'll leave the link if you want to check it out. And then also there's a couple of off brands, and I want to see which one is better. If you want to keep all your devices in a certain ecosystem, so you're only paying for one cloud plan eventually, you might want to use Wyze, or you might want to use Ring, or you might want to use, I can't remember what the other ones are from like Amazon. It's right on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember. But it's always recording, but it'll only save the clips of motion to that SD card, and I think that's cool too. So I didn't have to pay for an extra service, and so I'm happy with that. And I've been fairly happy with how this works. I've only had one situation where I wasn't able to view it because I don't know if my network was down at home, but it connects to your internal Wi-Fi, and then you can view it from anywhere that you're at. And again, showing you kind of this footage, you can see the daytime footage, you can see the nighttime footage and what it looks in the dark with color mode rather than black and white. And then you can kind of see the clarity in what it looks like and sort of the range of the FOV that you get when it is on your window. The only thing you got to be considerate about is the fact that you do need to plug it in. So you should have some sort of plug with a little USB-A or, one of these power bricks plugged in near it, so you have the ability to have it plugged in all the time, but you never have to charge it. And so far, I feel like it's worked great with a couple of little caveats here and there. If you're interested in me doing a video on just testing a couple of different ones, please let me know down below. The Wyze one, I think I might get on the TikTok shop. I haven't done a lot of shopping on the TikTok shop, and I'd like to do maybe a TikTok shop haul. Tell me what you think about that. I do a lot of Temu hauls, I do tech hauls, but I want to do different places so you can kind of start to see the things that you get, because I've noticed that TikTok does have better prices than Amazon. I've seen things go on to Amazon to get it because I didn't want to order from TikTok. Ended up ordering from TikTok and it worked great. So let me know about that. But these are all the cool things from the tech haul. Thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Again, I'm trying to get into the cycle of doing some more of these videos. And thank you so much. It was really encouraging on my last Temu haul. All the people that said, we appreciate your hauls, keep doing them, we like your videos. Because sometimes as a content creator, we get a little bit down seeing all of the bad comments. And why focus on that crap when you got a lot of cool people like you all watching this and actually enjoy what you do? And when you hear about that and you think someone might like it, it makes you think, I'm ready to do another video. But anyway, if this helped you out, give me a like, give me a subscribe. Any sort of interaction always helps me out. But until next time, this is Carl from Technical Goodies, and I'm out.